fired up.
4th down and goal from the 9. 17 seconds to go. The play clock at 3. Shotgun snap. Carr throws into traffic. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has the football.
Yeah.
Coffin nails.
Bam, bam, bam. How about that? It ends on a turnover.
Joe Burrow takes the snap. He takes a knee. And after 31 years, the drought is over. It is no fluke. It is a fact. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56.
Welcome back. It is Pardon the Punctuation. I am Aaron Smith, joined as always by the self-proclaimed best producer in the city, Ed Mayhall.
Hi.
No Jeff this week.
We're not going to have him at all tonight?
I don't know. TBD.
TBD.
He got called into work, and we'll see how that goes.
Jeff, if you're listening, save us.
Oh, of course, Geoff. Geoff's here.
Hey, Geoff.
He's none too thrilled.
He's never happy when Jeff isn't here.
He's not. I mean, he stands for his fellow Jeff.
Good for him.
So I do want to get to this current crazy Reds win streak because it's been a long time since we've been able to say anything remotely positive about these Reds.
Fair.
But in the meantime, I do want to knock the Reds once again.
Yeah, you were just talking about this for about 2 seconds before we went on live, and I've been at soccer practice, so I'm out of data, so I haven't been able to get on Twitter. So you gotta let me know what's going on. Yeah, I know.
I have no words.
I know you would.
Stop streaming. In any case, so tonight was the first, I guess, inaugural, if you will, $3 beer, 12-ounce beers, and $2 hot dog night at the Reds game. And,
sounds like a deal.
And as Geoff, who we know is a very big Cincinnati Cyclones fan, you've been to some Cyclones games.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good time. Dollar Hootie Delights usually, dollar PBRs. Yeah,
exactly. So I think the Reds were trying to tap into that while still also continuing to make a profit. So tonight at the game, the Reds ran out in the top of the 4th inning, according to Mo Egger. They ran out of hot dogs and beer.
You ran out of beer?
No, they ran out of the 12-ounce cups from the sound of it.
Okay.
So they had.
How do you run out of 12-ounce cups?
You didn't buy enough because you either A, didn't expect people to come to the game because no one has. Shocker.
It's so.
Or I'm laughing at the next comment.
What if they did put beer mids like out on the outfield wall and like you had a home run hit them? That'd be great.
How does an MLB run franchise run out of anything? That's like an excellent point, Gio.
It's actually a solid point, yeah.
So the Reds ran out of 12-ounce cups. So again, according to Mo Egger's posts, they have since substituted 16-ounce beers for 12-ounce beers.
Do they bump it up to $4 a beer now?
Nope, because they're still honoring $3 beer night. I couldn't agree more, Geoff. None of it makes sense that they ran out of cups, except they don't serve things in 12-ounce cups very often. If
I'm
you
actually
think about it,
they didn't increase the price if they were putting them in 16-ounce ones.
I mean, if you think about it, the soda that you buy down there is all large sizes, much like the movie theater.
Yeah.
So they can just charge you extra because you're getting big sizes.
Pretty much, yeah.
The beer that they serve traditionally is either in a can or it's the drafts that you buy that are also 16 ounces or larger. So it's not really a giant surprise to me that they had this happen, especially the way that everything has gone this year. They were 12-ounce cans, so that's how they ran.
Also, they ran out of 12-ounce cans.
Ran out.
They could go across the street to the party source and pick up some more.
How do you run out of beer?
I mean, at that point, you got to give one of the interns the corporate credit card and say, run over to the party source and get 47 24 packs of.
Stop at U-Haul and rent a truck.
Somebody has a truck.
I don't know, man.
They got that RV. They could have filled that damn RV up.
I guess I just wish I was surprised. I am not.
I have to know now if they were cans or.
Well, Sahil is saying they were. I mean, what are your thoughts though? If the Reds continue to do this on Tuesdays, do you think it's a good move?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If they want people to come down to the stadium, it's absolutely a good move. I mean, but you can't run out of these cans or cups or whatever they happen to be.
Whatever it is, sure.
Yeah. You can't run out of that stuff.
I would think that it would be more cost. Like, I guess you would make a better profit if you were serving people draft, right? Instead of cans.
I would think so too, because I feel like you probably get more out of a keg than you do out of a can.
Yeah.
Unless their keg machines suck and you're getting more head in it than you get anything else.
I guess I'm shocked that they went with the cans. Because I would think that whether you're going cans or whether you're going kegs, you probably, as a MLB franchise, have a really good deal with Bud Light or whoever,
Budweiser, yeah.
whatever beer it is that you're serving. So I don't know. I mean, you could even go. I believe Budweiser also owns Natty. If you wanted to go real cheap, dirt cheap. I don't know.
Shout out to the Reds for like giving the 16 ounces out for the same price though, because like I said just a minute ago, I for sure thought they would have bumped those up to $3.50, maybe $4,
or just not served anything anymore. Which
that's true too.
Wouldn't have surprised me at all.
Wouldn't have surprised me at all either.
But
so what's the hot dog situation then? Are they giving out like Big Red Smokies for $2 now instead of?
I'm literally at behest of only what Mo Egger has been tweeting.
We need to ask Mo what the hot dog sitch is.
It's an evolving situation, and we'll continue to report about it as we find out.
Also, I need to know if they're like full size hot dogs or if they're like cheese coney size hot dogs, because that's what they usually do for like the Dollar Dog station or whatever. Usually those little tiny hot dogs.
Well, they stopped doing that. I think the last time they did that was pre-COVID. And even then, I think it was like a full season before COVID that they hadn't done the Dollar Dogs. But it's fascinating that even trying to do a goodwill promotion, because I've not been to a professional game of any sort for a $3 beer. I don't consider the Cyclones professional. They're semi-professional. But kudos to them for trying.
I mean, they gave it a shot.
But as everything has gone this season,
failed.
It just wasn't in the cards for them.
Failed. You know what I heard for the first time? Maybe it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday coming home from Kings Island. For the first time, I heard the Reds promoting, or I guess it was a commercial for La Rose's promoting that free pizza with your tickets when the Reds win or when they get 12 strikeouts or whatever it was. The ticket stub pizza, you know what I'm talking about?
No. Oh,
remember that?
Yeah. 10 strikeout pizza.
Yeah, it was the first time I've heard that all year.
Well, I don't know that they've had 10 strikeouts in a game this season. I'm not sure. Maybe a Hunter Green night.
That night he threw all those 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. So what is the situation of the Reds game right now? Since I just got home, are we winning or are we losing?
We're losing. Currently 3-1 in the top of the 8th.
I guess,
but they did win 3 of the last 4 prior to tonight, and that doubles their win total for the season, as they now stand currently at 6-23.
So they're back ahead of FC Cincinnati in the wins for 2022. Okay. Because as of, I think it was Saturday night, I think is when it was, FC Cincinnati was ahead of them in win totals for the season.
They're going to have played 30 games, Ed, and not have won as many games as the Bengals did in a 16-game season.
Are you tuning into these games?
No. I haven't. I think I've watched 2 games this year because it's not enjoyable to watch.
So I'm going to go a little bit off topic here. I went to an FC Cincinnati game on Wednesday night. The soccer team went, and I wasn't expecting much because what I remember of FC Cincinnati is, losing. But apparently they had won the game before that, so they were on a good high. That game was extremely entertaining. They came out right away scoring. Well, first the other team got a red card, so they were down a player right away. But they came out scoring. There's a good atmosphere inside that place. And it was super entertaining. And so I ended up watching again on Saturday night. So I have watched exactly 1 Reds game this year and 2 FC Cincinnati games.
Yeah, FC's not necessarily my bag of. It's not my cup of tea, I guess.
They got their first 3 wins in a row in their MLS history, last week. So that's nice.
I saw a tweet that somebody thinks that they're legit, like an actual good team this year.
There's a couple MLS analysts who are saying they actually have a solid team.
It's about time.
And now that I actually know a little bit about soccer, watching Parker play, I feel like I could possibly get into this. I have a jersey.
Well, you do that.
If you could pronounce the name correctly again.
Not happening.
We don't have Coach Koch anymore, so you might be able to do this.
I just don't care.
Yeah,
I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be happy if they do well, but I'm still not going to watch unless it's like them in the playoffs. Maybe.
I can understand that.
I don't watch NBA until the playoffs either. So
a lot of people don't watch NBA until the playoffs. It doesn't really matter.
So I don't know. I guess like 5th place in their conference. All right. I guess. What are your thoughts though on the Reds in this season as they stand at 6-23, doubling their win total? But also, maybe answer this first before you get to what your thoughts are on the Reds. They've had Nick Senzel, I believe, is on his 2nd stint on the DL for COVID.
He's on COVID right now, yeah.
Moustakas is on the DL for COVID. IL, I guess that is what they're calling it now.
Votto just came off of it.
Votto, is he off of it?
Maybe not, because right now,
Colin
Moran's at first base, yeah.
But we haven't really seen players at this type of a clip, and at least locally, not with college football, not with college basketball, not with maybe Moose is back already.
Oh, here it is in the headlines. Moose I think he just got off of it today, actually.
But we didn't see it with the Bearcats. I don't recall anything happening with that other team in Norwood. We didn't see it happen really much with the Bengals even this season.
Talking about COVID?
Yeah. So what the hell's going on? What do you think is going on with the Reds and their inability to stay off the IL?
So I did read that I guess COVID is a little bit on the uptick, but like still way down than where we were like last year at this point, or even I think during the winter at this point. I guess this is my conspiracy theory. I think these guys are just like, I'm done. Like if management is not going to put players out here for us, I'm done. I'd rather go sit on the COVID IL for a couple days, get a little bit of rest, than come out here and possibly injure myself and ruin my contract. I mean, I heard that I guess we're interested in dealing
Luis
the
Castillo.
the two pitchers.
Tyler Mahle.
But I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. I think these guys are just kind of like they're done for the season too. Like,
well,
and maybe not all of them. I'm sure there's a lot of them who are still playing for the love of their game and just because it's their sport that they grew up playing. But I don't know. I mean, we have a problem with Senzel every year staying off of any kind of injury, COVID, any list.
I guess I just don't understand where if you're vaccinated and pretty much if you've reached 2 vaccinations and or boosters, most people are experiencing mild symptoms.
Yeah. So
if someone has the flu, are they banished for a week as well? Like,
no, that was never the case, before.
I just don't understand when we're past this.
I think we're almost there. To be honest with you, I think we're almost there.
If it's affecting your teams, I mean, I don't see how it's any different than a cold or a flu at this point outside of the fear mongering. I don't know. I don't really want to get too deep into the weeds on that. Right. I don't know. I mean, it's just get off the IL. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're not hearing about it in the NBA. You're not hearing about it in, like you said, the NFL. Like there was a couple guys I think this year in the NFL, but nothing bad. I know we were kind of worried at one point, when we had that little playoff run, when we had the playoff run going for the Bengals, that they were gonna, maybe something would happen, but then Joe Burrow said there's nothing to do here in the city, so they're not going to get COVID. So they're not out at clubs or anything like that. But man, it could also just be teams using it as a way of only putting guys on the list for a day or two. I know, like Joey Votto's. I don't know about Moose and Senzel, but I know like Joey Votto said his was his self, like he had COVID symptoms, and so they put him on there. But
or he needed time away from the game because he was not doing well. He was not hitting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he has the biggest knob in baseball. So
I want to go back to Saturday. There was a doubleheader. Game 1 of the doubleheader. The Reds beat the Pirates, and the Pirates are not good. Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
The Pirates at that point were 10-15. And the Reds beat them 9-2. Good luck trading Moose for a bucket of balls. They're going to want you to eat the salary. But yeah, Tyler Stevenson is heads and shoulders the best player on this team. He had 3 hits in that game. Drury to was it Geoff's point? Yeah, Drury had himself a nice little game that day as well.
You have a home run?
He went 2 for 4, but he did. He had an RBI, scored a run. Actually, scored 2 runs. So the Reds, but they scored 9. They hadn't scored 7 all season, and scored 9 because the game on Friday, the game that was supposed to be the Toyota Tundra upper decker game, got rained out.
By the way, that was never going to happen.
No,
that was never going to happen.
They did drop game 2, but then Sunday the Reds scored 7 runs again. And in that game, Colin Moran had himself a nice little grand slam.
Moran is my guy. No, that's not him. Never
mind. He also had a second homer in that game as well, 6 RBIs. So, yeah, that's why there was a doubleheader.
That was the game.
That was the game. And then what was it, last night?
Yes. No.
Yeah, last night the Reds won 10-5. So they've been scoring all of a sudden in bunches.
What's that all about?
I don't know. I'd like it to continue.
Tonight it's not.
Drury had a home run last night. Moran had a home run last night. Farmer had a home run last night.
I did see a lot of people tweeting about Farmer last night. Yes,
it's just strange. This game of baseball, I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if this is a rebuild, if it's not a rebuild. If it is a rebuild, why did we sign the lefty pitcher, Wade Miley's replacement, Mike? I can't remember.
Oh shoot!
I don't think he's pitched for us yet. I think he's been injured. I don't know. It's just strange to me that they still can't figure out if they're doing a full rebuild. I know Mike Miner. Thank you, Geoff. I know OH54 earlier said we needed to trade Moran and Drury. That's a true tank. Get prospects in return and go all in on young guys. I agree. I did the exact same thing on MLB The Show. I got rid of everyone who was over the age of 25. Everyone.
Did you?
Yeah. The team was trash.
So who did you just bring up guys from the minors, or did you?
I traded everyone, and if you were like a potential D or worse, like I cut you. I don't
know about that.
I don't know if I would not put it past Phil Castellini to be involved with the drugs, as the comments that came out of his mouth were induced by something. But yeah, I got rid of everybody because there he is. Because the team was trash. It's still trash, but at least we have some prospects to build on my game.
But do we? Or are we just gonna start? On your game? Okay.
On my game.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I
just want them to be good. It's gonna be I know I have a baby coming in July, and my summer.
That's why you want it to be good, because you're gonna be sitting around the house, and you're not gonna have much to do, and watching good baseball would be great for you at that point.
I just want this team to be good, and it sucks because I feel like every time I see a tweet about the Seattle Mariners, it's Suarez hitting another home run or Winker hitting a game-winning, single or whatever. Like, those guys are doing great out in Seattle. And I'm all for, guys getting a chance to, like for Suarez, to change your scenery.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's completely necessary. But it just blows my mind how poorly this rebuild has been handled.
Is it a rebuild, though? They still won't come out and say it's a rebuild.
Well, because they can't, because then you've basically said that you give up on the entire season. They can't say that they're tanking, even if they are. Not that tanking really does you a whole lot of good in baseball. Like, sure, you can get the first round pick for a guy who's not going to be up in 3 years because he has to go through the minors. I thought you were frozen. You didn't move at all.
I thought you were frozen, actually.
No.
Oh, I was reading the comments. Oh, hey, Chad. Oh, wait a minute. I should probably let him in the room. Hey, Chad.
Hi, boys.
Do you like the Reds?
I want to.
So do we. We're really trying to talk nicely about them, and then we go back to tanking.
Aaron, let's not pretend Eugenio Suarez is hitting 200. He's slugging 448. His OPS is 759. I mean, come on.
I'm just
he's
saying,
not exactly tearing it up.
But he's playing better than we are.
I feel like 200.
He is who we thought he was.
Batting 200 and slugging 400 would be an improvement on the team as it currently exists.
Jesse Winker, again, also batting 200. Slugging, whoa, what is it? Slugging 276. OPS 591. They're not doing well. So, I mean, I didn't mind trading those two.
Like I said, I'm all for a guy getting an opportunity with a change of scenery. And
yeah, but they're not going to be part of, like, when this team is good again, they're not going to be part of it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? So trading them doesn't really bother me. It's the inability to acknowledge a plan.
That you're actively tanking?
Well, but they're not. They're not tanking. Their payroll is $120 million. If they're tanking, they're the dumbest motherfuckers in the history of tanking.
Accurate.
Right? Like, to tank is to sell all of your reliable, like, valuable assets and move on and start over. They're not doing that.
I mean, if they do this by the trade break with the two pitchers, and I'm not going to say his name because I know I might mess it up tonight because I did not take my medicine today. But Malley, I could say that, but
Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo. I was going to call him Castile or something like that, right? But like if they do that before the trade deadline, then they're definitely tanking.
But here's the thing: like when you look at the comments, like, what faith do you have that they're going to get anything in return for the players they sell? Look at the last sell-off.
Yeah,
you're right. Who did they get?
Tommy Pham.
Or no, I'm talking about like when, like, what, 2014, 15?
Oh, you're talking about back then.
When they sold Chapman and Bruce and
Phillips,
Phillips and Frazier and that entire pitching staff. Like, who did they get? They didn't get anybody worth a shit from any of that.
They got Luis Castillo out of that when they dealt.
Did they get that other pitcher?
That was an accident, Aaron.
Oh, I'm 100% agreeing with you.
I'm talking about the frontline guys that they traded.
I'm just giving you one where it worked out.
There are going to be accidents.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
There are going to be accidents. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the players that should have been like the basis of the foundation for the Reds going forward, they didn't get anybody of significant value for anything that happened there.
And here Luis Castillo is at 29 years old, 28, 29, something like that. And you've done nothing with him. Like, you're about to lose him for nothing.
Right.
Because he's, I think, got 1 year left of control, essentially.
They'll sell him at some point, but they're not getting, like...
But they wait too long, right? They wait too long.
Even when they don't wait too long, they don't get shit in return. Even when they do it right, they get it wrong.
Like the hot dog and beer night tonight.
$3 beers, $2 hot dogs. Ah, shit, we're out. It was like
the fourth
inning.
People actually came to the game. People actually came to the game. Not a lot. Not a lot of people.
People ate their weight in hot dogs.
I mean, I would do some damage on some $2 hot dogs, bro. Like, come on.
Again, I need to know: are they the Skylines, like the cheese coney size hot dogs? Or they
care
bun size?
I don't care. You're talking semantics, Ed.
I mean, guess
they didn't wait too long for everyone.
They did with Bruce.
Where they screwed up is they had this fascination with the All-Star game in 2015
with Frazier.
With that whole team, we have to. We can't sell. Around. We got to keep everybody here. That offseason, they in 14, they had already sold half of the core, right? But they kept just enough so that they were not dead by the All-Star break. And then they were reactionary and sold after the All-Star break. But come on. Like, go look through. There were several of those trades that were done as they should have been done, and they didn't get shit in return. Like, they got 3 what were supposed to be good arms from San Francisco in the Cueto deal, right?
Yeah.
Woof.
Not a single one of them worked out. That's on scouting. That's on the internal.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad all around. Every bit of this is bad.
OH54, I would argue that guys they didn't wait too long on. Tucker. Although you got nothing back for him.
Right, just let him go.
Sonny Gray. We'll see. We don't know yet. You can definitely argue that Winker, they did not wait too long on Winker.
No.
But you probably did on Suarez.
Yeah, I mean, but the Suarez thing, like, what's the right time to sell on that guy?
Well,
like,
the wheels fell off on him when you tried to transition him to shortstop.
It
last
didn't
work out.
The wheels fell off on him when he hurt his shoulder.
Well, in the pool and all of that mess, jumping
the
in
Sonny
after
Gray's
his kid,
pool.
Yeah.
Once he hurt his shoulder, he was done. But there's nothing like you didn't have like. I mean, he was coming off of one of the greatest seasons for a third baseman ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the impetus to sell him at that point? Because you were still pretending like your window was open.
Was it 40 or did he hit 50 home runs in that season?
50.
That's what I
51,
thought.
I think.
And that was the most for anybody from Venezuela.
Dominican.
Or no, he's
Venezuela. Yeah, whatever. Dominican,
Mm-hmm.
Venezuela.
Most ever for a Venezuelan. But
yeah.
I don't know what the answer is right now, though. Unfortunately, it's you have to open the checkbook in the offseason.
That's the only answer.
You can't continue to do this. Like, what are we doing?
That's the problem, because I've talked about this a million times.
Yeah.
I've talked about it here. I've talked about it on radio. Like, I've talked about it everywhere. The reality is, all they'd have to do is say, this is our plan. And people would for the most part, get behind it. If they came out and said prior to this season, when they started selling, right? Look, our window with India, Stevenson, Lodolo, Green, Ellie De La Cruz, Barrero. Our window is 2024 is when
Matt
it really
McLean
opens. Maybe. I don't think there's as much hype behind McLean as there is the other stuff.
He's been hitting really well lately.
Okay.
I digress.
Yeah. Aristides Aquino hits really well in the minor leagues.
Yeah. We saw that with his second home run in as many games tonight.
I've seen enough Kyle Larsons to know like hitting okay in the minors doesn't move the needle for me. But if they would have just simply said, look, we did what we could. You're not getting any value for Tommy fucking Pham. It's not happening. He's here because he was washed up and people knew it.
He won't be a Red by the end of the season, though.
No, he'll be gone.
No, they're going to sell him, but they're not going to get shit in return for him.
No, not anything.
2 buckets of balls and a box of Big League Chew. Like
it'll just be player to be named later.
What kind of Big League Chew, though?
Grape.
Okay, all right. I'm here with that. Yeah.
Whatever kind you want on that dumb hat you like.
Grape.
I didn't like that hat.
I thought you liked the strawberry one.
No, I was waiting to stop.
Anyhow, like if they would have just said, this is what we're doing, this is the direction we're taking, we really feel like when our window is open in 2024, we can be ready to compete because we're going to have a core of guys that are under team control, that are under good contracts, that, but instead, what did they do? They sold halfway, and then the fan base got pissed, and then they overcorrected and signed Tommy Pham and Mike Minor. Like, they added $20 million to payroll just because fans called them out. Like, that's not a plan. That's being a dumbass, right?
It was terribly spent money. Like, signing another pitcher, regardless if he's lefty or not, because right now you don't have a lefty on the roster as it currently stands. But to bring in Mike Minor log jams you where you need to be bringing guys up to see what you have at the major league level. Let them get their lumps. And
but the thing is, they already had Mike Minor
and Wade Miley, sure.
His name was Wade Miley, and they already had him. All they had to do was pick up the option. And that was your guy to mentor these young guys and, also take control of the clubhouse and da-da-da-da-da.
He's an inning eater too, which is what you need when you have guys who aren't lasting past the fourth, fifth inning.
Right.
It's true.
It's just dumb. Like, the whole approach is dumb. It's short-sighted. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's just
come
stupid.
Out and tell us what you like. Just come out and say.
Here's the problem, Ed. If they knew what they were doing, they would do that.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know. They're just they're
a bunch of rich assholes playing with their toys.
They're reactionary in everything that they do. And they don't have the ability to stick to, this is who we are. This is why we're doing it. This is, this is the plan.
Right.
Instead, it's just throw enough shit against the wall and see what sticks. And if the fans get mad at us, then we change what we were thinking. If the fans talk bad about Banana Bob, then everybody gets in their feelings and they say dumb shit on opening day. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no actual identity in any of it.
And I agree with Bill, and Chad just agreed as well, that they don't have identity.
When you think of the Cardinals, you know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
When you think of the Brewers, you know what you're getting, right?
Generally.
Pitching, a couple thumpers in that lineup in a ballpark that's home run friendly. That you know what their minor league system looks like. We killed Jeff, Kathy. I'm the captain now.
No, that's not happening. But Jeff had to go to work. He's hoping to still make the show when he gets home, but he got called into work. So
drink a Sprite.
You didn't like my I'm the captain now hair?
No, I didn't.
Ooh.
Huh. All right.
I have to acquiesce to you often enough. This is my ship. This is my ship.
They're halfway on everything they do.
Well,
I've said it 100 times. They never commit to anything. Everything they do is halfway in, halfway out, and it sucks.
Pete Crowley brings up a good point. Isn't Great American a slugger's park? Why focus on pitchers? I mean, yes and no.
What is focusing on sluggers? How's that worked?
You have to have ground ball pitchers. That's the best way to do it, unfortunately. And Sonny Gray was that, which is why Sonny Gray saw success here. If you remember, what was the pitcher that came here from the Mets that was a head case, Chad?
The Dark Knight. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. He was here for all of one season.
What was his name?
He had some issues with New York. New York was too much for him. But he was a ground ball pitcher here as well.
Matt Harvey.
Thank you.
Yep, that's it, Matt Harvey. Yep.
And that worked out. It's just that was one that they probably held on to too long as well. You could have sold him at the end of that season to try and get something out of it.
They weren't getting anything out of that head case.
No, I mean, but you got nothing out of it, and you could have sent him to a playoff team.
I don't think a playoff team wanted him.
He had a good season that year.
He had an okay season, and everybody knew he was a head case.
In any case, you have to, unfortunately, like I said, get ground ball pitchers, and those aren't easy to come by because everyone wants ground ball pitchers.
Every single
Right.
team in the league. We got just real quick. Geoff is correct. We have bases loaded with Stevenson up to bat.
That's who you want.
Yep.
Of anyone on the team, except maybe Colin Moran right now, who's hitting very well over the span of the last several games. So I guess we'll see.
I'd take Matt Latos back right now.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with that guy.
Just joking. I really wouldn't.
Don't get caught walking around in the bowels of the stadium. He might try to put something where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
You sure got a pretty mouth.
That guy.
Oh, no.
That guy.
Who are we giving a chance to rehab, Kathy? Jeff? I think he'll be okay.
Oh, no.
Bill, I would not take Homer Bailey back right now.
Of course, Bill
Stevenson
would.
struck out.
Oh, he struck out looking too. And he has words for the ump.
It was a strike. So.
Oh, nope. He went. Yeah.
It was a strike.
So, I don't know, Ed, any more thoughts on the Reds as they stand?
No. I just, you know what's going to happen is they're going to do this little comeback thing, and we're all going to get excited for it.
No, they're not. They're not.
It might run for a week. It might run for a week and a half, but there'll be a little comeback thing, and we're all going to get excited. And then
no one will remember a week of this season, even if they won.
I remember the first week when we were winning.
No, we weren't. We went 500 in one series.
We beat Atlanta, and Joey Votto had that great interview at first base.
They also beat us many times.
Have you noticed Joey hasn't been putting on social media again, like a lot, like this last week or so?
Why would he? This team is an embarrassment.
Entertain himself.
Get out of here.
That's why I post on TikTok.
Home sick.
But is he sick?
I guess Moran's up.
I mean, that's the new thing with this COVID stuff, right? Is you just wake up with the sniffles and this team sucks so bad you're like,
nah,
can't do it. Yeah,
not today, Skip.
Not today.
Not today, Skip.
You don't want me around everybody else. You might as well.
I'm a little congested, Skip.
Is that your major league impression?
No.
We won a game today. We won a game yesterday too.
I think I got.
If we win one tomorrow, that'll be 3 in a row. That's called a winning streak. It has happened before.
You may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
I love that movie.
I don't know, Charlie. I got a guy on the other line about some white walls.
That needs to be the next. That needs to be the next remake.
Why?
I'm good.
You would ruin it.
Would it though?
Yes.
Bill, they're on a 3-game winning streak, not a 4-game winning streak.
Get your shit together, Bill.
How do I know that? And he doesn't.
I thought he was the big FC fan.
Yeah. I don't know, Chad. You missed it before. I went to a game last week, and it was very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I'm surprised that place is struggling to put butts in the seats, it looks like.
It was half empty.
I mean, and it's only what? 25,000 or whatever?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was a good time.
Yeah,
hey, are we moving on from Reds?
I think it's time.
Okay.
I think it's time. That was 45 minutes. We have struggled to say
that was a struggle of 45 minutes.
We have struggled to say anything about the Reds though all year,
and I haven't touched this yet.
45 minutes.
What is that?
It's Cholito.
Cholito.
What?
I just got home from soccer practice.
Was it in just regular old ass aluminum foil?
If you get it at Skyline, that's how it's served.
That's how they put it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ever got Chilito before, Chad?
No.
Really?
He goes to Dixie Chili, not Skyline.
Okay.
I go to Skyline
I
plenty.
know you do.
I like both. I like Dixie Chili better, but Skyline's my backup jam. When we were in the old house, Dixie Chili was far. Like I had to go like 20 minutes, 25 minutes each way to get to Dixie Chili, so I went to Skyline. Now in the new house, we're about equidistance between Dixie Chili and Skyline, so I go to Dixie Chili.
I feel like I have to go to 20 to 25 minutes to get anywhere right now.
That's your own stupid fault.
Yeah. You moved. I feel like there's a local comedian, and I can't remember his name right now. But he went to one of those chili places. It's not Skyline, and I saw this on TikTok. And he created his own 3-way, right, or his own way. It was probably a 4-way, but it had Geta and fried egg on top of it too. How do you feel about that?
No.
Okay.
Not here for it.
No.
Okay.
Wait, what stuff is just sauce? Dixie Chili? Then you've never had Dixie Chili.
He hasn't had
Dixie Chili is the meatiest of all the Cincinnati chili like varieties. That's why I like it more than Skyline and Gold Star.
Bear in mind, Chad, this is not the Mayhall brother that you've had issues with before.
I just am saying. I'm just curious what stuff is just sauce. I'm not Empress's. I'm indifferent on Empress.
The only other chili place I've been to is really, come on, Blue Ash Chili.
That's pretty good. I like Blue Ash.
I like Blue Ash Chili.
The chili lasagna is fantastic.
Do you think I could do that tater tot thing there? That tater tot challenge at Blue Ash Chili?
What's the tater? Like, how many do you have to eat?
Look it up.
The Brewers walked in a run.
Yeah.
How about that?
Naquin's down 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Camp Washington's pretty good. I like Camp Washington.
It's called.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Skyline, Gold Star, Camp Washington. Camp Washington would be the best by far.
I didn't know Milwaukee scored 2 runs in the top of this inning.
So you thought it was 3?
I thought it was 3-2 now with that walked-in run.
No, 5.
That's great.
He said you couldn't. Your brother said you couldn't even do your own Skyline challenge. That's gotta hurt, man. Are you okay?
How do you put people in timeout?
I don't think you can if they're on Facebook.
He's on Facebook. You can't put him in timeout.
So the one I was talking about at Blue Ash Chili is called the No Freaking Way. It is 2.5 pounds of spaghetti, 2.5 pounds of chili, and then crown the whole dish with 2 pounds of shredded cheese and 1 pound. It's not tater tots. I'm sorry. It's 1 pound of jalapeno caps.
0% chance.
That's like 8. Can do the math on that again? 2.5.
It comes out to 8 pounds.
8 pounds.
8 pounds,
bro. You ain't eating 8 pounds of anything.
You aren't eating
60 minutes.
No.
You get a T-shirt and you get your name on the Wall of Fame. If not, you have to pay $40 for the whole thing.
There's no way you're eating 8 pounds of anything.
Ever.
Like,
no, I'm not saying I could.
Well, you were asking if you should do it.
Oh, I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah. Welcome back, Unmedicined Ed.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my game just froze.
Naquin with a double down the right field line. 5-4 now. Second and third, 2 outs.
How about that?
Jeff can only eat a pound of meat. Or Geoff, sorry.
Love to see it. Ed.
Yeah.
We haven't talked yet about the new basketball roster that the Bearcats have assembled.
I want to talk Bengals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then let's talk Bengals.
Lots of disrespect being thrown the Bengals' way.
Okay.
Like when you look at lists for like potential MVP, there's no Joe Burrow. I think there was a ranking that had them 11th.
I saw 10th.
Or 10th or 11th in the AFC.
Oh no, I saw 10th for Super Bowl odds.
They were 10th or 11th for Super Bowl odds. Maybe it was 8th in the AFC.
They're not even favored to win the conference, though.
The Super Bowl odds have them 3rd in the AFC North.
Behind Cleveland?
Behind Baltimore and Cleveland. Cleveland is 1 spot ahead of them in the Super Bowl odds.
Who are they throwing to?
How? I still don't think that what's his name is going to make it on the field this year.
Deshaun
Watson. Well, at least not for the first couple games.
I have seen nothing that says to me that the NFL is going to do anything.
Well, no, I haven't seen anything from the NFL, but you got to think like with the whole thing in the. Did we lose?
No, I'm just talking. They changed pitchers. I'm just talking. I think there's going to be something done.
It's 4-5. I think there's going to be something too, because with everything going on with what's his face out there in LA, I mean, he was acquitted of all charges, but he's still getting a 2-year suspension. Is it 2-year suspension?
Trevor Bauer, yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, 2-year suspension. I mean, I can't remember the quarterback's name right now.
You're doing a great job, Ed.
Michael Vick?
No, the one in Cleveland right now. Haskins, right?
Deshaun Watson.
Thank you.
Haskins is
I
gone.
understand. Thank you. That's what I was trying not to say, and then I said it anyways. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he was acquitted of all charges too.
This guy's dead. Take him off the list.
I know.
If we're still doing Major League, rest in peace. No disrespect to Dwayne Haskins, but
apparently I have no TV down here tonight.
No retention either.
I know, but I still think there's going to be something that comes out. Like the NFL has to do something. I don't think they should do anything. I mean, if he's been acquitted of all charges and they've seen like that he's he didn't do anything wrong, then I don't think they should do anything. But I think they're gonna do something.
I was gonna say, based on what? Like, if there's no charges pending,
that's never stopped leagues from punishing people before.
Well, especially the NFL, who likes to be judge and jury.
If you've got 30 civil cases, they're coming for you, bro. Just on the optics of that alone.
22, but yeah. I don't know.
22 is not any better than 30.
I've seen these lists on Twitter that you're talking about, though, Chad, where you see like who's the best coach in the conference or who's the best receiver. The Steelers are delusional. Steelers fans are delusional as they think.
No, they're not.
They think they have a better receiving trio than the Bengals.
Mike Tomlin has never finished under 500 in his time in Pittsburgh.
He's also never coached without Ben Roethlisberger on the roster.
Wow. Was that a hit?
I just see no faces, and it's just me, and I have no idea what's happening at this point.
No, that's the end of the inning.
Ed, you're on.
Diving catch by Urias to stop the rally. 5-4 Brewers going into the ninth.
Still got a chance, I guess.
But yeah, just because they have Mike Tomlin, Mike Tomlin's never not had Ben ever.
That's very true, and we all know that Ben
has been without Ben quite a bit. The guy's barely played half of the games over the past 3 years, right?
I mean,
yeah, but
they found a way to win with the guy named Ducky.
That is fair.
The guy with the dented head.
They made it into the playoffs last year. That roster was trash. And Tomlin still finds a way to win 9 games.
They wouldn't have made it if they hadn't expanded the playoffs.
But that's fine. But they did. If your mom had balls, she'd be your uncle. Your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. If your mom had balls, she'd be your dad. And it would be kind of a weird situation. But that's the problem. That's where the Bengals are at, right? They haven't earned anybody's respect, so nobody's giving it to them. And what they're dealing with right now is the backlash of everybody said they were going to be shit last year, and they were going to be a team drafting in the top 10, top 5 of the draft again. And they made everybody look like dumbasses. So now this year they're doubling down on that was a fluke. That was a fluke. Don't believe it. That was a fluke. Here's the part that wasn't a fluke. It wasn't the offense that got them to the Super Bowl.
No.
The offense stunk. I heard Tony and Austin arguing or talking, I think yesterday, it might have been today, about they have a top 3 offense in the NFL. Now, I'm going to need to see that to believe it. I think they have a very good offense.
I don't know that I'd say top 3.
Right. I'm going to need to see. I would easily say it's great. I would easily say they have a top 10 offense in the NFL.
Easy.
But if you look at how that offense played down the stretch and in the playoffs,
it wasn't good.
Down the stretch, it was awesome. The last push to get in.
Yes.
Where Burrow was throwing for 500 yards a game with
once they were in the playoffs, though, it was a different story.
It was not great. But the defense carried them, which shows that there's enough balance on this roster and the construction of the roster right now that they don't have to be one-dimensional. And generally the teams that are fluky, right, are the teams that are one-dimensional.
Well, where were the trouble spots for the Bengals last year? Obviously, offensive line was more than a trouble spot. It was a danger zone.
It was a disaster area.
They certainly addressed that in the offseason. And the secondary was a little suspect as far as depth goes. And they addressed that, 3-4 picks? I'm trying to think. At least 3. So, I mean, they certainly addressed the needs. So, I don't know. I mean, I struggle to see this team not third place in the division. No, that's not happening.
I don't see that happening either. I do think there's a lot of people who think we're going to make it back to the Super Bowl this year, and I mean, it's hard to make it to the Super Bowl.
It's hard to make it to the Super Bowl, period.
It's hard to make the Super Bowl, period. It's hard to make it 2 years in a row.
Yes.
And so I don't know that we're going to make it back to the Super Bowl this year, maybe the next year or the year after, but I don't think they're third place in the division. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And behind the Browns? Come on.
I still am very curious as to who Watson or Baker, if Baker's back, they're going. He's still on their roster. I mean, if Watson has to sit out, they still have Baker, unless he refuses to play. But
I think they'll be a lot more fun to watch throughout the whole season this year, because last year, at the beginning of the season, they weren't very fun to watch, but towards the middle of the season, that's when they got better.
I think you must have just missed games because they were still fun to watch early on. When Chase lost
to the Browns.
Well, sure, that's not fun. But they beat the Ravens early-ish. I think that was more midseason.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, they did.
But it was before Lamar was injured. And they smacked him around. And then they beat him again.
I was actually thinking about this today. What do you think about Bill's comment that they need to start looking at a replacement for Mixon?
Yes. Do they need to do it right now? I would have
probably not.
I would have been okay with them trying to take somebody in the draft to replace P. Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't love P. Ryan. But
I do think they need to start looking ahead at a couple drafts.
I don't think
next year, but maybe the year after.
I don't think you bring back Mixon for a third contract.
No. When's his contract up?
I believe he has 2 more years. 2 or 3 more years.
I think 22 and 23. Sorry. I had to pop away for a second. But it's running back in the NFL. Go find one. If you got a good line and a great quarterback, your running back is going to be fine.
Problem is we never had a good line and a good quarterback until this year, so we don't know that, right? We don't know.
That's fair.
We haven't had a good line since what?
Since Whitworth and those guys left, so
That's
2015,
good.
2016.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. But yeah, I don't know that there's only, I think I saw somewhere this week, there's only like 7 guys in the NFL that have, since T. Higgins entered the league, that have more yards and touchdowns in that time span.
Yeah, he's the top 10 wide receiver in the NFL.
Correct. Like,
and also plays with Jamar Chase.
Right. Which is going to get you more looks. Look what happened in the Super Bowl. Who did you go to because Jamar Chase was double covered? T. Higgins, who's taller than everyone. He's like 6'5".
Yeah, he's the perfect complement to Chase. He's that big physical possession.
Spread the field.
Outside, spread the field guy. He's not particularly going to just run by you and beat you over the top, but he will go up and get jump balls and make plays deep and do the necessary things.
At what point in this offseason did the Bengals sign Gronk? Because I heard that was supposed to happen.
Never.
It's not happening.
It's not what I was told on the internet.
Stop reading.
How about the money Brady got?
10 years, $375 million.
He hasn't even retired yet.
I guess he's not going to the Dolphins front office.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
No, he's going to Fox, and he's going to make a lot of money.
Is anyone surprised that it's Fox that he's going to?
I know. My favorite Mother's Day card, digital Mother's Day card that I saw this year was when you feel like you're not being a good mom, just remember Tom Brady retired for 3 months and was home with his kids for 3 months and then had to come back or something like that. It's funnier, obviously.
Hilarious.
Good job. That was
great.
You really delivered the punchline there.
I'm a comedian, guys.
That made if your mom had balls, she'd be your uncle, look tame.
Unbelievable.
Got really hard.
What's the situation with Paul Brown Stadium? It needs to be torn down and done over.
They just had consultants come in to give them a whole bunch of estimates for all of the potential upgrades they could do to Paul Brown Stadium. They're also looking at putting in an indoor practice facility. So if you think that it's actually going to go anywhere, it's not. They're not going anywhere. Because it's a family-owned business the way that it is, and it's Paul Brown's legacy, including the name on the stadium that they refuse to sell any rights to make more money for a team or for a family who loves money. Yeah. They're not going anywhere.
It could be a much better, beautiful stadium, but right now it's a concrete jungle.
It was also heralded as an architectural dream when it was built, believe it or not.
I remember that. I forgot about that.
Which is strange.
That's a really bad architect. That's the most boring, drab, bland. It's not bad.
I mean, if you take it just at face value. Gone. But yeah, it's only concrete walls. They haven't done anything until this year. They started to paint the walls and do some things around the stadium to try and better the ambiance.
It's no Great American.
I think Great American has too much shit, if I'm being honest.
Well, but that's all been added. That wasn't how Great American was when it was built.
Right.
It's just been over the years enhancements. That you can because it's so open, you can see most of them, right?
Well, Great American, you also have to build stuff around the stadium for families because so many families go visit.
Yeah.
But how often do you see families, especially with young children, go to Paul Brown Stadium because of all the drunk assholes, myself included?
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Aaron's there. You can't take your kids to a game.
I'm saying.
Take your 6-year-old in an opponent's jersey and see how Aaron treats him.
Oh no! I'd never do stuff especially to opponents' kids. That's I do have limits, believe it or not.
Okay.
Depends on how drunk. Depends on how well the tailgate went.
Depends on their
smack talk. You'd smack talk an 11-year-old. Don't tell me you wouldn't.
There's one in this house,
right?
After that DJing thing I did the other day, I would totally smack talk.
I think it would depend on the parent.
Right? Okay. So now
you're gonna be an asshole just like your dad.
Since we're on the topic of stadiums,
being an asshole.
Since we're on the topic of stadiums, that is something I did like about FC Cincinnati Stadium. That all the seats are covered. The pitch isn't covered, but the seats are covered. So if it rained, like you weren't going to get wet.
Did it rain?
They did have very few video boards there, though.
Did it rain?
No, it didn't. I'm just saying if it did. It was cold, actually.
That didn't save you any.
People down towards the field still get wet, believe it or not. Rain doesn't always fall straight down.
Well, I believe they probably would. Yeah, you're right.
Crazy, I know, but.
All right, Aaron.
I'd start over at Paul Brown. I'd tear that thing to the ground, build a dome, and start over.
You do a dome?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would only do a dome under one condition, because I know the Bengals don't like to do this. You have to let other events be there. Like monster trucks.
Well, yeah.
That's the whole point.
You build a dome so you can have the Final Four. You build a dome, so you can showcase the city. Like,
well, they're going to
let concerts happen there, Ed. They don't.
I know.
Ban
on
everything.
Saturday.
The NFL Combine is going to start moving and being a traveling combine, so not always an Indy. You build it so you have that.
Would the problem with downtown be that is the banks enough, or is OTR too far?
Well, the problem with downtown is you don't have a 5-star hotel right now.
Yeah.
You'd have to build one of those JW Marriotts or whatever those are.
I mean, I feel like you could build something where the Millennium's being torn down. I don't know what they're.
Well, they are. They're building on. It's a hotel as well because they said that the convention center needed a hotel, so I think they're putting a convention center hotel there. It was one of
a new arena
Jeff Bearding's things.
Yes, the arena in Cincinnati is irrelevant. It doesn't change anything. Would it be nice to have one? Sure.
Oh, it would be nice.
I would take a new state-of-the-art football facility over a new Heritage Bank or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, because of the fact that they are having these basketball games inside NFL stadiums now. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to Geoff's point, you could even potentially host a Super Bowl.
Potentially.
Yeah, you got a nice 80,000, 70,000 seat stadium, domed in Cincinnati. You'll get a Super Bowl. Sure.
If you had the infrastructure to host that with hotels, I don't know that right now. I don't know that anybody would sign up for that with the lack of 5-star hotels.
And I don't know where you would put that in downtown Cincinnati. That would have to go over in Newport, and so it would have to be transportation.
Do you even have a
Ed? If they had a dome, they could get a WrestleMania in Cincinnati.
It would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool.
Do you even have a 5-star restaurant in Cincinnati right now?
Did Jeffrey be a 5-star?
I don't think so.
He's not.
So.
Oh wow.
No.
Hold on. Let's do a Google search.
I think the last one they had was the that one that closed. The Masonette. I think that was the last 5-star restaurant.
There's already too much competition for concerts in this market now.
I agree.
This can't be true.
What?
According to Yelp.
Don't look at Yelp.
Yeah, this isn't.
No,
that's based. That's not a 5-star restaurant. That's based.
I know. I typed in 5-star restaurants in
reviews.
Cincinnati.
Come on, Ed.
I understand it's based off of customer reviews because the first one that came up was Boca de Beppo, I think.
Unreal.
I don't think there is.
Like I said, I think the Masonette was the last one. and it's gone.
Up in
I
Lebanon?
would build a new PBS before I would redo the arena. Yeah, Final Four. Forget NCAA tourney. Final Four, Cincinnati.
It's a very centralized city if you're looking for that.
It's got a major airport hub.
Mm-hmm.
In and out is easy.
International airport hub at that.
Right?
I go for it.
I've also given up on because of the ownership group and because of everything going on. I've given up on that ever happening.
I give it up on that arena.
Heritage Bank.
Yeah. I've given up on it because the only option is to tear it down and start over.
Well, they wouldn't even weed the planters between them and the baseball stadium.
Yeah, what's her face on Twitter had to get that taken care of.
Yeah.
What's her face on Twitter? Good one.
I can't think of her name right now, but yeah.
Does your brain work?
Not today. He didn't take his meds.
Not today.
Every name you need to think of, you've just answered with, I can't think of that name right now.
What's their name?
Chad, I used to have an office, and in the office sat another guy. So it was two people in one office, and there were points during the day where I couldn't remember his name. So
you're something special, Ed.
And I actually just had to think about it. It was Brett, but I just had to think about it.
We keep talking about sports and they're yakking food. What?
Who's yakking food?
Kathy, you confuse me sometimes.
I love food, Kathy.
I sometimes wonder, looking at her comments, that is she like, where is she live with us, or is she back behind?
That could be possible.
Yeah,
that's a possibility too.
Ed is an architect, 24/7.
Unreal. I don't know that there's any more Bengals talk there.
I was listening to another. We've gone so far off the rails. I don't even know how we get back.
I was listening to another podcast this week, and shout out to Craft Brewed Sports, and their intern was trying to pronounce Leinenkugel, and he called it Linnenkegel, and I was laughing for a good 30 minutes because it reminded me of the architect. Oh, you got a Leinenkugel over there? Is that Summer Shandy?
It is.
Or Berry Wise?
It's a Summer Shandy.
Too bad it's not an urban artifact.
Kelly loves a good Summer Shandy. That's one of her favorites.
That's what I got. I'm running a little low on the urban artifacts. I can't drink them on the non-sponsored shows.
You know what I have upstairs right now, and I meant to bring one down. I have the Saunders root beer float beer.
Go get one. You'll be contributing about as much as you are with the what's their names.
Kind of a dick move.
Wait, what's their name?
The Nasty Boys.
Go get it.
Just walk away and go get it?
Yes.
I'm not thirsty for one right now. If I was thirsty for one right now, I'll go get it. But right now, I'm not.
You said, you know what I forgot? I got one of these upstairs.
Well, I would have drank
Makes
that.
It sound like I would like this right now.
I would have drank that over the iced tea if I would have thought about it earlier. If I would have thought about it.
What's wrong with your brother?
I don't know. So I won a bottle of Woodford over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he wants me to trade him the bottle of Woodford for an autographed Barry Larkin bat.
For chugging baby bottle
of beer.
You never played that game?
Yeah, when I was like 20, when people were having their first kids, people still do that?
Well, my cousin was having his first kid, so yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
and it's Bill's fault he didn't win it because he signed me up for it. I wasn't going to do it, but he signed me up for it. And then my cousin told me how you win it. You got to bite the nipple off, and so I did.
Huh.
And I squeezed it like I squeeze it, and I was done. apparently some guy bet my cousin $500 that I would win.
Did he win $500?
I guess he did.
So are you going to make this trade?
I don't know. Do you think I should?
Woodford Reserve for an autographed Barry Larkin bat?
Yeah.
Are you going to drink the Woodford Reserve? You can go get another bottle.
I already have a bottle of Woodford.
I would make the trade.
All right, trade's done.
I'm glad we talked you through that. Sounds like
is it like a game used Barry Larkin bat, or is it?
No,
just,
it's like from Sports Gallery.
I hope it's just engraved with his signature, like the the gold writing on the bat when you buy it.
Right.
Geoff, what are you talking about?
He's talking about the Nasty Boys. He already mentioned that literally like 3 comments above.
Oh, my bad.
What comedians do it?
Yeah, what comedians? Yeah. Oh, it's that comedian who made the
what's his name?
Oh, what's his name? Yeah. Oh, what's his name?
Oh my God, T-Win.
I've never played that.
That's because you don't really chug beer. I've never seen you chug beer.
Unless it's out of a baby bottle where he has to eat the nipple.
Like I said, I've never seen him chug beer.
I was chugging the champagne to beer at your graduation party.
Lee Kimbrell and Billy DeVore, the 2 comedians.
Yeah, Billy DeVore is one who had that 3-way thing. That chili thing.
You're going to have to actually divulge a little bit
It's
more.
the one that I talked about with the Geta and the fried egg on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, that was a callback. Didn't know where you were going with that.
I mean, I'm damn near tempted to put a Geta and fried egg on just about anything, but I don't know that I'd put it on my 3-way.
Geta and fried egg is very.
Is this game over yet? Did they
I put a Geta and fried egg on top of like a bratwurst.
Oh, I would do that a million times over.
Heartbeat. Like cut the bratwurst in half and put it like on a pretzel bun. Call it an Oktoberfest. Maybe a little.
I'm not giving this thought.
For when Ed opens his food truck.
That's the only thing I have on the menu. This is the only thing I have thought of.
You could put my 3-way sliders on there. Or cheese coney sliders.
Geoff, I've been meaning to ask you this. You keep talking about Coney bowls in the chat. You've said this.
You never had a Coney bowl?
I don't know what the hell's the difference between a Coney bowl and a 3-way.
A Coney bowl is where, so this is what I did Atkins years ago. A Coney bowl is basically a cheese coney without the bun. And so they put a hot dog in a bowl, a couple hot dogs usually, right? You usually get 3 with chili on top of it and then cheese and mustard and onion.
Did they cut the hot dogs up for you? Do you
have to you got to cut those yourself. You got to cut those yourself.
Reds lost. You were right, Ed. They came back, but it wasn't enough, and they lost 5-4.
Enough to tease you. Just
I tried to will it.
Halfway. The problem is it's not even just the tip; it's halfway. Which then you got to. No, never mind.
That's enough.
Yeah. Rate DQ 1 to 10.
Is that Dairy Queen?
Dairy Queen.
Ooh.
Dairy Queen's like a solid 6.5.
I go 6.5, 7. Yeah.
Every year I ask for a Dairy Queen cake for my birthday.
So what do you get? So what's your go-to?
You're doing that wrong, Aaron. You're doing that wrong. You got to get your ice cream cakes from Stone Cold or Cold Stone. Cold Stone has better ice cream cakes than Dairy Queen.
Yeah, if you want to pay like $70 for an ice cream cake.
No, it's only 40.
Is a cold call.
That's absurd.
It's only 40.
What's your go-to Blizzard?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
I go Reese's Pieces, which means I can't get it at Dairy Queen.
Oh,
they don't have
Reese's Pieces.
Nope, they have Reese's Cups. They don't have the Reese's Pieces.
I go the Reese's Cups more often than not. I'll do a Snickers from time to time. They do. Here's my complaint with Dairy Queen. like around Girl Scout cookie season, they do Girl Scout cookies, but they don't do tag-alongs.
They only do Thin Mint. You're right.
If they did tag-alongs, I would eat the shit out of that. They have a new one that they do like drumstick, like the drumsticks. Yep. I like that one. I like drumsticks.
I'm a big fan of the Royal Blizzards. It's like a chocolate, and it has in the center core. So like somehow they drill out the center core of it, and they put hot fudge in the middle of it. So you got like chocolate ice cream surrounding hot fudge. It's pretty good.
All right, Ed. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
BCJ just put this out a half hour ago. The ACC wants to do a new scheduling model, so they're not going to have divisions, but they are going to have 3 permanent opponents, and then they're going to rotate everybody else over the course of the next several years. So with UC joining the Big 12, who would you want the 3 permanent opponents to be?
West Virginia has to be one, right?
Yeah, I would say West Virginia has to be one of them.
Central Florida has to be one.
Has to be.
What better rivalry in the country is there than the rivalry Central Florida thinks they have with Cincinnati?
I think it has to be one.
Who's number 3? Houston?
I don't like Houston only because the only Big 12 that you're having a permanent rivalry with at that point, as the Big 12 currently exists, would be West Virginia. And I think that you would want to establish a new rivalry.
But who? Because Oklahoma State's going to get like the pick of the litter.
Right.
Yeah.
Baylor's going to get Texas Tech and TCU probably. Like who would? Ideally, I would probably either Oklahoma State or Baylor, because I think I've said the top of the Big 12 is going to be Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, Baylor, and then a rotating like 4th team that is up and down.
And my gut third was definitely Baylor as well.
I think I'm kind of I'm agreeing with Ohio 54. I think Iowa State would be interesting.
That would be
once Matt Campbell is gone, that program will crater.
I mean, but
they are Kentucky, Indiana, like they are shit historically with a good coach who's not going to be there forever. Like I don't want any part of Iowa State. No way. No, thank you. Matt Campbell's a god.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about him.
The Mayhalls are weird.
He's lost 5 games every year but 1.
Geoff, what is the 1870 tower from Graders?
I have no clue.
Also, I got Bowley Bearcat this week. It was delicious.
Bowley Bearcat
still
is fire.
Still
even without the red velvet Oreos.
I like the original. Yeah. I like the original.
No, I do too, but I mean,
it's still good. It's still good.
I love that I can walk in there now and actually just pick up a pint of Bowley Bearcat.
Kathy, we know we need Jeff to keep the podcast flowing. We're aware. Chad's trying to help bridge that gap. Believe it or not, we used to do this just Ed and I, and somehow we still had people who listened.
Well, we didn't do it for 2 hours back then.
Kathy, just so you know, I was planning on taking the night off. I was just going to let
Aaron
guys
call you?
do their thing. Well, we did the nightcap, and Aaron
nightcap.
was like, "It's just me and Ed," and I was like, "All right, I'll hop in and help you guys out."
Struggled for 45 minutes on the Reds.
I imagine they Ohio 54. Do you think UC would have a say in who their permanent opponents would be? I'd imagine that they probably would do that at the meetings where everyone would try and hammer it out. Like I don't think it would be like luck of the draw, like where you just draw names out of a hat to see who's picking, and that's it. That's the final say so.
T-Win, there's no way West Virginia is not going to be one of them. Like, if that were the path that the Big 12 goes, that there's 3 regular, and the Big 12 is actually like favored 9. So you might even get 4, or you could do 3 like every year, and then 6 rotating. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that.
It's your W or it's YOU''RE.
There's no way that they have a 3 setup where they play the same team or same 3 teams every year, and West Virginia is not one of them.
Geographically, it wouldn't make sense.
No.
Right. And rivalry-wise, like
there's history there.
West Virginia wants somebody that Cincinnati is going to be a rivalry with West Virginia.
How much longer do you think? Sorry.
Go ahead. I don't have anything else relevant to say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't. I'm out.
How much longer do you think Huggins is going to be at West Virginia? Like he's going to be there until he decides to retire. But how much longer do you think he has?
He's not going to be there until he decides to retire. He's going to be there until he dies.
Oh well,
on the court,
somewhere,
screaming.
That's almost happened a couple times.
Right. Oklahoma State as a permanent, I would be fine with that. I would say I guess thinking into it, West Virginia, Golden Knights of Orlando Technical Institute, Golden Knights, and either Oklahoma State or Baylor, one of those two.
If the rivalry between West Virginia and Cincinnati becomes a thing again on a permanent basis, Pat McAfee's done with the Bearcats, right?
No, he'll have fun with it because I think he's I don't want to say they're best friends, right? It's not him and AJ Hawk, but I think he has a good relationship with Kelsey, and I think that would be like a fun back and forth, like him and Kelsey on a show once a year during that game. It'd be
great for content.
It'd be great for content.
He's had a good relationship with Luke in the past as well, but I think
that's true too.
I think that his days of visiting Camp Higher Ground and those types of things are.
Well, he's not doing games on ESPN anymore. That's why he visited Higher Ground, because he was doing the UCLA UC game at
broadcast.
UC.
Yeah, the broadcast.
And UCLA kind of he tried to reach out and get in with UCLA, and UC was like,
worked
we're
out.
30 minutes down the road from you in Indy. False. Hour and 45-minute drive.
Not to Higher Ground.
Whatever he said it was on the
Higher Ground's pretty quick drive from Indy.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour.
Depending on what part of Indy you're coming from, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm actually going out to Harrison this weekend.
Indy traffic can be a bitch.
It is true.
That's not a great city to drive in by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Have you guys seen the commercial? I think it just the trailer. I think it just dropped today for Adam Sandler's new movie.
Yeah, I did see that.
It looks like a solid movie on the Netflix.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out.
Finally,
he's
looks like a serious one too.
He's like an NBA scout that finds this guy overseas and
for the 76ers.
For the 76ers, but the people that work for the 76ers don't believe in him, so he kind of goes rogue and trains this guy on his own type deal. It looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. He's had some bad. Sandler's had some bad.
He's had some bad ones on the Netflix.
But they keep giving him $300 million to make movies.
Yeah. Try again.
Give it another shot. See if
this is
work.
Produced by him and LeBron James. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so Aaron will love it.
I'm out.
Oh, come on, Aaron. You're a huge LeBron James.
Until he went to LA.
How do we feel about the kid who apparently put hands on CP3's family?
Give me I hate CP3's the fucking worst.
I want proof that he touched them. He looks so, when they're pulling him out, he looks so confused. What is going on here? But
that guy is the worst.
I just love that CP3 came after a 16-year-old.
I thought it was funny, Charles Barkley saying that he's been begging for this for years, but he just wants to take anybody who has something to say to a player to half court, 5 minutes, sign your waiver, let's go.
I used to say that in customer service. We should pick one person a year. Back when I worked on the phones, we should pick one person a year. We'll give them a free premium, free insurance for a full year. If they just let us throw pie at them or something, just something. Hit them up with a paintball.
Anybody that purposely over a 20-year basketball career hits people in the dick with no impunity. Like, it's just like part of the game. Oh no, I smacked that guy in the nuts because that's how we play. That's not how you play. You're an asshole. That guy's an asshole.
They didn't even play that way in Detroit. Like, they didn't even do that.
Draymond doesn't understand why he keeps getting texts.
And he doesn't hit people in the dick constantly.
I mean, he has. He certainly has.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not a big Draymond guy either for that similar. Like, if that's your standard operating procedure, you're a bad human. You're a bad human.
All right. Anything you want to talk Bearcats, Ed, or are we?
Sauce did not pay $250,000 for that jersey.
I wonder how much he paid for that number 1.
I don't think he paid anything. No,
it's been reported that it was after a financial agreement.
I think there was an agreement. I don't know that it was like a money transfer. We'll see.
Those agreements should be like charity donations from now on.
30 Bitcoins.
30. I got some Dogecoin.
That's a lot of money. They're still like $30,000, right? $40,000.
Yeah, they're still $30,000.
Oh, I forgot. 054 asked what we thought about the clear bag policy, and will it make lines longer at Nippard?
I don't have a thought.
I don't think it's going to make lines longer. I think it's going to be simply, do you have a clear bag? Do you not have a clear bag? Clear bags through. Not clear bags. Go back to your car.
We do know where you can get a clear bag that fits regulations. And that's 513shirts.com.
513shirts.com.
Order it now so it gets there in time.
Clear bag. They only have 100 of them, so
don't miss out.
Yeah.
I got nothing else, Aaron.
I just remember CP3 hitting people in the nuts over a 20-year career, like regularly. That's not okay. It's not okay.
Who's worse, CP3 or that kid from Duke?
Grayson Allen?
Yeah, Grayson Allen.
I'd rather be tripped.
Oh, yeah, he was only tripping.
Ed,
that's right.
This is a one or the other.
Yeah.
You either don't hit people in the nuts,
we do,
or you do, and CP3 does. That's not okay. It's not. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Jeff, we missed you this week. We hope to have.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Ed, do you have 60 seconds? Is that dead? Is that dead? Like,
he doesn't.
It's
watch
not dead.
Anymore.
It's soccer has been so like I've been so engulfed in soccer.
How many games do you have a week?
How many games do we have left?
No. A week. How many soccer games do you have a week?
2, 3, then plus 2 practices.
Yeah.
So
what days are those on?
Practices Mondays and Tuesdays or Mondays and Wednesdays.
What's that do for your Thursday night?
Thursday night was a game.
What night's AEW on?
Wednesday.
What do you have going on Wednesdays?
No, AEW is on Tuesdays nights. No, Wednesday nights.
What's going on Wednesdays?
That's the one night I had to spend with my wife.
Oh, she doesn't want to watch wrestling with you. Weird.
She doesn't want to watch wrestling. Not that. She wants to watch Married at First Sight. I did read up on a little bit. It sounds like Bret Hart could possibly be trying to get a deal with either WWE or AEW for a little bit of a comeback. I would say it's probably AEW since they're doing that Owen Hart tournament right now.
Like 65.
Yeah, but it's gonna be it'll be like a manager role or some sort of cool thing. What else did I see? I saw something else that I was gonna bring. Oh, well, I don't know anymore.
What's his name?
I mean,
That was another episode of Part of the Punctuation.
AEW is actually I heard they've created a triple team belts. So triple tag team belts. So there's always been a tag team belts, right? 2 belts. Now we're talking about a triple tag team. 3 belts.
And that was another episode of Part of the Punctuation. As always, I am Aaron. Chad, thanks for stepping in for Jeff tonight as he was not able to be with us.
Glad
Jeff,
to help.
Jeff, we miss you. Come back soon. Ed.
Kathy misses you.
Kathy misses you.
She's been clear about it. Ed.
She hates me more than she misses Jeff.
Thanks for giving it a go tonight. You gave it your all. I just wish that you would take your medicine on Mondays, Tuesdays.
I usually do, but today was like there's a lot of things going on today.
I was gonna take my medicine, but I couldn't remember the name of it. And then
what's his name?
And then there was a lot of medicines.
Doctor, what's his name?
His name? Gave me
you had to call it into that place where you pick up the medicine.
We'll see you next week. Hopefully,
one begins with a C, but the one begins with a W.
Hopefully we have an update. I don't know if there's a Tuesday home game for the Reds next week or not, but hopefully we have an update on the beer hot dog situation.
We're going to need a correspondent the next Reds Tuesday home game.
We might have to bring Mo on to discuss the beer hot dog situation and get his thoughts. Although a week removed, I don't know that he's going to talk about it on the radio. So he'll
talk about it tomorrow.
Well over it at that point.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're going to need a correspondent at the game on their phone to chime in throughout the game on what the situation is.
What the next Tuesday game is. So get on that, Geoff.
Geoff, we need you. I think Geoff is an indie. I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah, well, I'm 2.5 hours away myself. So, all right. That was another episode of Part of the Punctuation. Join us next week, 9:15.
Wrong button. Ba-dum-bum.